Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Tyrannoid here, and we are back for March's review. And March's review, if you can't already tell by what's on the screen, is Killzone Shadowfall. And I'm just going to say this right now, this was the first time I've put this game back in since 2014. That's how long it's been since I played this game. So I just want to give a quick little background. I am a massive, was a massive Killzone fan. I absolutely adored Killzone 1. Killzone 2 was absolutely fantastic. Really gritty war game, really, really good. Graphically, it was amazing. Killzone 3 was a bit. It was good, but it was a bit of a letdown. I haven't played the PSP one, Killzone Liberation. I do mean to get that for my Vita, and I recently got Killzone Mercenary for the Vita, which I probably want to make another topic for that, but that is like one of the best Killzone games, and that's for the Vita, so that's even better. So Shadowfall, um, this was one of the games I got with my PS4 when I first got the console. Um, I originally got The Last of Us and Call of Duty Ghost, but I'd literally just played The Last of Us on PS3 and did not fancy getting it again and playing it through, even with the nice visuals. Um, so I traded it in and I got Killzone Shadowfall and Metro Redux instead. So Killzone Shadowfall was a bit of a hit and miss with me. It wasn't that great. Basically, there's the campaign which takes a far stealthier approach than any of the previous campaigns. If you've actually played any of the previous Killzones, you'll realise that they're all basically just gritty war games. You're always in the action. You're always there, ducking behind cover, dodging explosions. Popping up. Uh, it's a very cover-based shooter, but it's always, right in the action. And this one took a far different approach. I think it kind of took cues from Killzone Mercenary, because Killzone Mercenary has stealth elements in it, and there was that one level in Killzone 3 that it was god awful, but it was a stealth level. So this game sort of varies. You've still got your gritty war bits, as you can see from these clips I'm playing here on this particular level. So you have still got your gritty war bits. But it's more focused on stealth. You've got this combat owl that can do loads of different tasks for you. It can hack computers for you. It can actually distract the enemies, or sort of like get the enemy's attention, if you know what I mean. And you've also got like a sort of pulse that you can use that can pick up enemies in the area, so they're marked on your map and stuff, and it can make it easier to stealth. So you've got all these different options, all these different ways of approaching the levels. But the problem with Shadowfall is it's got a pretty, the premise is really good. The Hellgas, after the end of Killzone 3, obviously their planet got destroyed, so the survivors are now living on Vector, and there's a giant wall separating them. It's kind of like a Cold War scenario, and that premise is amazing, but the story is pretty rubbish. I'm not gonna lie, when I first played this game, I actually, the levels are quite bland and confusing. I mean, graphically it's amazing, but that was the only thing that enticed me to the game when I was first playing it. And I think there's about 10 or 11 levels in the game, and it took me at least 3 weeks to make it through a couple of levels, because I just didn't have the motivation to do it. I was doing it because the game was there. I wasn't doing it because I was enjoying it, and it wasn't that great. It starts off pretty interesting actually, and then all of a sudden you've got a load of mediocre levels. They've all got different gimmicks going on, like there's a space level and everything, and they're just okay. They're not terrible, but they're just not great, and it doesn't give you the same thrill ride that the other Killzones gave you. I mean, even Killzone 1 on the PS2 was more of a thrill ride than the end of the game. The end of the game does pick up. You spoiler alert to anyone that hasn't played it, but you end up going back to Helgan. The place is in absolute ruins, but obviously it looks fantastic, and it does play really well. And the game got interesting there, but by the time the game gets interesting, it's over, which is a real disappointment. I didn't find myself obviously I don't know if there is 11 levels, but say if there is 11, I didn't get interested until about level 8 or 9. By that point, the game's almost over. So the campaign isn't that great. It is definitely not the thing that you are going to keep playing this game for. That will be the multiplayer, and we will get right onto that right now. Now, the multiplayer. The multiplayer, if you've played any of the previous Killzone games, is kind of like a more sluggish man's COD. It's a lot smoother, the movements are. They don't feel as bulky as Killzone 2 or 3, but it does play really well. Now, the multiplayer, if you've played any of the previous Killzones, it was always massive. There was always lots of players. I think it was like 32 players in a game. And there were big maps, and it was just chaotic. They've toned that down a lot in this game. There are far smaller maps, and there are less players. I'm not sure how many it is. In fact, I have got the case here with me, and it will probably tell me on the back. 24 players. It's 24 players, and they do a really neat thing in this, because obviously this game is getting old now. If there aren't enough players, the game will fill them up with bots as well. So you always get a 24-player game. But the difference with this Killzone is that, I mean, the game modes are all the same as previous ones. You've got your team deathmatch, you've got your war zone and stuff. But the difference is there are so many customizable game modes, like the options to customize, and people have been creating game modes and they're available to the public and everything. All the options are absolutely fantastic. There's so much variety for different game modes that can be made in Killzone Shadowfall. So you can obviously play your basic game modes with the basic rules and setups and everything, or you can create your own or use others. And that's what makes the multiplayer interesting. And the multiplayer can be really fast-paced and fantastic. I mean, I did spend quite a few, like, compared to the campaign, I felt motivated to keep coming back to this, and the multiplayer was really good. And I did spend at least a couple of months playing it continuously in a row. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about the multiplayer. It's pretty much the same as any other Killzone, but on a smaller level, a more personal level. There is also like supply drops in here. It's similar to supply drops, but you earn money in game from every game. It's almost like you finish a game and you'll earn, I think it's called Valor or something, and you earn, like, say between 5,000 to 10,000 depending on how well you do. And then you can use that money to buy, like, crates, and you can unlock weapons and abilities to help you in your game. There's also a lot more class customization in this, where, like, the other Killzones had set classes, whereas this game, just like Killzone Mercenary, is it Mercenary on the Vita? I forget the name of it now. You actually can create your classes. There's also a large amount of preset classes that have got loads of variation. Also, a good note for anyone who wants to get this game now, all the DLC is free. The only one that isn't, there was a co-op mode that I haven't played that came in as DLC. I think that's only about £4 now on the store. But other than that, all the multiplayer maps are all free, so you've got a lot of maps to play. And there is still a fair amount of people playing this game. So yeah, overall, guys, Killzone Shadowfall isn't that great. It's not a great Killzone game, no way. It's multiplayer's a lot more toned down, and while it's fun, it's not what Killzone fans would expect. And the campaign, as for the campaign, you'll just be dragging yourself through it for pretty much the whole time. So honestly, you could probably just finish at Killzone 3 and that completely wrap up the story, because the story for this is absolute nonsense and there's no point playing it. So if you want a decent Killzone campaign, don't get this game. If you want a fun multiplayer game, then it's not the best one in the world, but I will probably get this one. But yeah, guys, that's my Killzone review. There's not much to say about it because it wasn't an amazing game. But yeah, next review, guys, will be coming in April, and I'm trying to decide what to do for it. Actually, I'm trying to decide whether to do Uncharted or Metro Redux, so we'll soon decide. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked this review. If you did, there's a lovely thumbs up button below this video. If you want to see more content like this and you're new to the channel, there's also a lovely red subscribe button. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.